Hey there, folks. Welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 3. I'm the Serious JG. I am playing this game this evening because the show that I was going to watch, usually watching Monday Night Raw. I know it's not something you'd normally fess up to, but I am a wrestling fan, as weird as that sounds sometimes when you're into sci-fi and other nerdy stuff of a more cerebral event. But that show is preempted tonight, basically because there's a big blizzard, and they're showing a bunch of, you know, they didn't really say a whole lot. I watched the first 5-10 minutes of the show. They didn't say a whole lot about how they were going to fill out the time, except that they were going to show stuff from the pay-per-view, which I already watched last night on the WWE Network for $9.99, and they're going to have like an interview, and yeah, like they're being real sketchy about what was coming up on the show. Like, why would you watch? And the answer is you would watch if you didn't see the pay-per-view, but I saw the pay-per-view, so screw it. So I'm going to play some Mass Effect 3 tonight during that same time, and Mass Effect 3 is probably the LP where I have the most stuff recorded ahead, but it's also the one I just feel like playing. So I'm going to play it. As long as I'm talking about stuff that you don't really care about and not getting to the gameplay, I just want to briefly drop the news in this LP. Mr. Critic watched some of the Mass Effect stuff. He might be watching this. He might get excited. Other people watching this might get excited too. It's hard to say. After like 2 years of trying to get Allied General to work as an LP, and running into the fact that, you know, 'cause I did my LP of Panzer General, which is a game I loved, and was an LP which in some ways was it was one of my most interesting LPs, because it was one where I continued to win and do okay at the game, and just constantly received negative comments from people who were telling me how much better they were at the game than I am, and just criticizing everything. Like, even more than you'd get sometimes in the RTK games. Like, in the RTK games, you get a lot of people who never played before who were interested, and a handful of people who did play before who thought that they knew how to play the game better than me. Panzer General, like, people came out of the woodwork to tell me how awesome they are at Panzer General. At any rate, Allied General, somebody finally sent me a link to a version of it that I can get to work. Because I could, people kept sending me, and I made it clear in my Panzer General LP that, you know, I have the files. It's just that it doesn't want to play on a 64-bit Windows operating system. It's not that I don't have the disk. People kept saying, "Oh, I got it. I got you covered, brah," and they would always send me to an ISO dump, like just the frickin' CD files on some abandonware website, and that was it. I'm like, no, I already have the CD, and you know, taking the ISO doesn't help. And I read and tried to figure out how to get it to work. Couldn't get it to work. Somebody pointed me to a website called, I think it was called old-games.com. They had a version. It looked like somebody had actually hacked it. It looks a lot like the Panzer General Forever game that somebody had come up with. Somebody basically created a game called Panzer General Forever for modern Windows operating systems that but it didn't feature the mission briefings or any of the movies and stuff, and it didn't have the combat animations. Somebody either took that and put in the movies and stuff, or they just hacked Allied General. I think they actually hacked Allied General, now I think about it, because when you run this Allied General version I got now, it completely fucks with your display settings. So the only way I can actually do it is I can play the game on my laptop and connect my laptop to the capture device on my desktop, the same way that I would connect my Xbox 360 in this LP, which I'm going to get to in a second, I swear, or my PS4. I would connect them to my desktop. So in order for me to play Allied General, I have to play it on my laptop, connect that to my desktop. That saves the files on the desktop. Then I have to send those desktop files back to my laptop, because it's so wonky, and it's like screen resolutions are so goofy. In order to make it look even semi-presentable, I have to then go back and edit the videos and crop, because otherwise you've got this full screen LP where like the top left-hand corner of the screen is all that's getting used, and it looks really bizarre. So it would be a lot of work, but after 2 years, I can finally LP Allied General if I want to, and now I don't know how to feel about it. It's like I'd given up so long ago on getting to do it, not to mention the fact that it was the LP where people were just, and I mentioned Mr. Critic by name, but he was actually one of the people who in the end kind of like came back and was like cool about it, and he actually tried to do his own LP and acknowledged later on that, a game is much more difficult when you are trying to think of things to say. You end up not thinking through things, and whatever. He's got his own channel and he's doing fairly well, I understand. But yeah, there's other people who are just truly obnoxious, and I gotta save some stuff to say if I actually start an Allied General LP. But I've got Allied General as a possibility. But the other thing was, before this came about, I had vaguely started planning to start doing Nobunaga's Ambition Iron Triangle. And there's no way I can keep both of those LPs going at the same time, because they're both like fairly hardcore strategy games. And they're both going to take a really long time to do. So I'm torn. I don't know what to play. And the answer is, of course, play Mass Effect 3. Sorry to keep you guys waiting so long. But yeah, anybody watching this LP who has an opinion, chime in and tell me what you'd rather see of those two. Because I'll get one of them or the other rolling. Probably no promises. I might never do either one of them, but I probably will get one of them or the other rolling fairly soon. Now, Primarch Victus, at the end of the last video, we talked to him, but I didn't explore all the different investigate options, basically because I was out of time and I need to end the session. But now, I can maybe get 2 hours recorded tonight, maybe. And the way this freaking game works, that might get me to a new plot mission, but there's no way it'll get me to start a new plot mission and actually finish it. Unless some small missions pop up. Because we gotta go to the Citadel after this and check on Ashley and a bunch of other crap. But let's talk to Primarch Victus. See, what up?
Yes, Commander?
Turian help for Earth.
I understand this is a difficult time for you, Primarch, but Earth can't survive without reinforcements. Can I still count on your help?
Nah, it's just Josh and you. We're not helping.
If the Krogan help us on Palaven, then I give you my word
that we won't help. So I guess this means actually that the main plot missions now are going to head for Tuchanka, which is fine. We've got two old Krogan buddies that we might end up meeting there.
How is it being the Primarch?
Not what I imagined. The battle of all time is happening on Palaven, and I'm light years away, reading casualty reports in the millions.
Millions of casualty reports? How do you have time to read them all?
So there's no doubt we fought to the last soul.
Tell me about it.
I understand. Leaving Earth to save it. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
I'm not surprised. Garrus speaks highly of you. You never asked to be a leader, yet your people will die if you refuse. We find ourselves in similar circumstances. Let's hope the spirits grant us the strength to see it through.
Have my doubts for you, soft, squishy human.
How are things on Palaven?
The casualty reports are staggering.
The casualties
The Reapers are using our tactics against us. Destroy the enemy with overwhelming force.
I've seen the same on Earth.
I've seen Turians destroying humans with overwhelming force on Earth.
The Turian in me knows I'm watching the destruction of 15,000 years of civilization. My civilization.
Well, it's always a pleasure.
That's all.
Of course, Commander.
Always fun to chat with you. Alright, so the other thing that was happening was that Edie shut down and the ship is potentially, for all I know, we're flying directly into a sun with no control. But I'm just hanging out down here, chatting with the Admiral, chatting with the Palaven dude, Primarch, what's-his-face. Totally ignoring the fact that Edie blew it up and the ship is doomed. Must get through blue screen. Thank you, ladies. Is that a lady over there? I think that's a lady over there. But, I don't want to get closer because that might trigger another loading sequence. That's right, you better salute me as our ship goes down.
Comm systems are going haywire. Whatever's happening is centered on Deck 3.
See if you can get to Edie. I'll check the AI core.
I was still talking.
It's taken Edie offline. I'm trying to restart the systems, but something's blocking me. Whatever's happening, it's taken Edie offline.
Say, I want to go visit Ashley. Check my email before we go. Meet me in Purgatory. Another DLC. From Sexy McEvil Chick. Not the Dark Queen from Battletoads, although that would be, Man, I wish the Dark Queen from Battletoads in this game. I wish she was like the figurehead leader of the Reapers. You know, every time you do something against the Reapers, like a hot 8-bit chick appears and delivers some like awful pun dissing you. Like, good job, snot-nosed Shepard, but you'll never be able to get through the next level. Evil smile. Sorry. I wouldn't normally have the Black Dark Queen on my mind, but I was watching somebody else's videos of Battletoads. Lest anyone think I go around spending my days thinking about the Dark Queen, and more specifically, her theme music. I have a proposition for you, Shepard. You won't want to pass it up. I'm in a nightclub on the Citadel called Purgatory. Don't make me wait too long. Me, a Spectre. From Ashley Williams. You guys can start complaining about it now and trying to change my mind if you like, but there's essentially two choices for romantic interest in this game. I mean, we could pursue a romance with somebody else, but really the two easiest ones to make work would be Ashley, because we already romanced her in the first game, or Tali, because we romanced her in the second game. And I was thinking of going with Ashley based on the fact that, I mean, call me a speciesist, but she's human, we're human. It was practically meant to be. Yeah, I feel kind of bad about romance. Like, of all the people to romance and then let down, and like, you know, well, it didn't quite work out, there's somebody else, I'm sorry. Tali does seem the cruelest since she risked her life to bone you, but she pushed the issue. And we never got to see what she looks like, so call me shallow, but having no idea what she looks like, I mean, Shepard does, I suppose. And presumably it didn't stop him from sealing the deal, but yeah. Anyway, from Ashley. Commander, I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say this. Udina wants me to be a Spectre. Well, you seem to have said crazy. I know I'm not a big fan of Udina, but he can make the Spectre thing happen. He's pressing me for an answer, but I don't know what to tell him. I'm too sore to get out of bed, and this gets dropped on me. I told him I'd think about it. If you find yourself near the Citadel, drop by the hospital. I'm getting a little stir-crazy here. So that's nice. Ashley's, at least she's recovered consciousness. She wants to talk, and interestingly, she's being offered a position as a Spectre. And she doesn't necessarily... I just got done saying we were going to try to romance Ashley. That doesn't necessarily mean she'd be my first choice to be a Spectre. Garrus comes to mind as somebody who probably has more general competence, but Udina seems to want to get another human Spectre going. As far as humans who would make good Spectres, well, you know, what's her face? The hot, like, you know, we dipped her in plastic and clothes formed around her chick. Is it Melinda? It started with an M. Miranda, I'm sorry. Miranda, like, you know, she's from the second game. See, like, the story built her up as being super competent, but she works for Cerberus and other organizations as well. I assume we'll be meeting her sometime before this is over, and, yeah, now that I know the answers to this, it's not really, like, that interesting to me. But for anybody who's not already familiar with the story, that is one thing I was very interested in. Miranda, I liked Miranda enough as a character. Like, if they hadn't gone so over the top to try to make her, like, a pinup girl, her actual character was reasonably interesting. In that sort of fantasy fulfillment, perfect girl, but, you know, some of her backstory was kind of neat. So I was very interested to see where she's going to fall down on this whole Spectre, or Cerberus has turned evil again thing, and we will meet her again. Those questions will be answered. So if I don't sound that excited about it, it's not because the answers were particularly disappointing. It's just that I already know where it's going, so I'm not curious anymore. But yeah, she might have been a better choice for a Spectre. Kaiden honestly rescued Ashley, but Kaiden seemed like he would have been a better choice for a Spectre, really. And of course, if Ashley dies in Mass Effect 1, Kaiden is offered to be the second human Spectre. What's his name? Conrad Werner would not be a particularly good choice for a Spectre. But Yeah, I don't know. For the most part, though, your best associates who are backing you up, like Jacob, doesn't particularly strike me as being, you know, he's going to pour drinks on the Citadel, and he's got a dad who has like retarded sex slaves, but none of that really screamed to me qualified to be a Spectre. Anyway. Meanwhile, the ship is like the AI core has exploded. The ship is going down, and I'm just reading my mail slowly. We have a sender blocked. Commander, my name is John Dumbow. I'm with Special Tactics and Recon. So he's a Spectre. Isn't that what Spectre is? While some still have concerns about your past activities at Cerberus, many of us in STNR. Oh no! He's not a Spectre. He's I think these are the Solarian Super Squad guys. I might be wrong. Maybe Spectres are Special Tactics and Recon. That kind of works as the acronym. I really don't know. Many of us in STNR took your warnings about the Reapers seriously. I'm reaching out to you because I have information that could tie agents with significant political power to the Reapers. If you have the time to meet me in the Citadel embassies. Yeah, okay, I think he is Spectre. Is this address valid? I gotta see who's sending it so I know what voice to do. And it's Thane. I never really came up with a voice for him. Shepard, I've called and I've sent messages, but gotten no response. With Earth's comm system out, I don't expect this will get through either. But I heard a rumor the Normandy docked here at the Citadel. Are you alive? I'm at Huerta Memorial Hospital under the name Tana Noir. Hey, that's one letter away from my mom's last name. Not Tanor, but anyway. Please excuse the moniker and this email's encryption. In my line of work, it is unwise to advertise my location, particularly when I'm not in good health. We should meet before circumstances force us apart again. Thane. So, Thane. Yeah, it'd be nice to see Thane again. Thane was, a fun enough character in the second game. And I kept him alive. I can't remember which one of my subscribers was mentioning that their Thane bought the bucket, kicked the bucket, but, mine didn't because I'm awesome. No. Mine didn't because I did every single stinking side quest you could possibly do and bought all the stupid ship upgrades. That's the reason he's still alive. Urgent message from Admiral Hackett. Sounds like another DLC. Because otherwise he would have said something in the voice. He would have said something voice acted during a mission briefing. When you get an email, it means it's DLC. Commander, there's an Alliance researcher working on the Citadel named Dr. Garrett Bryson. I need you to meet with him right away. Dr. Bryson has uncovered important new information about Reapers that could have a direct bearing on the war. I'm officially directing you to support his efforts at the first possible opportunity. Please visit Dr. Bryson's laboratory on the Citadel at once. The plan at the moment, unless I get to the point where there's no side quests interfering with the main story missions, and I just feel like a change of pace, is to put all DLC off until after the main story is more or less ready to resolve. Because doing the DLC's missions does involve like sinking in game time, I believe, like world time, and side missions pop up that are time sensitive. And this last one I know for a fact is a. So this help request thing I think is like is a side quest. It's not DLC, but Omega is DLC. Because it's Area Taloka again. Oh, you know what? This is the DLC one. Omega, come see me. Meet me in Purgatory, I think, is just a general side quest within game that isn't part of the DLC. Omega is DLC. Shepard, I have something important to discuss with you. It's sensitive, so I'll need privacy. I'll arrange for that soon. In the meantime, come see me on the Citadel in the aptly named Purgatory. I have a few ideas for your war. Yeah. There's DLC called Omega. You remember how in Mass Effect 2 Omega was this sort of like dark, what's the word I'm looking for? It was this cyberpunk, dark version of the Citadel or whatever, and it was ruled by the evil but hot Asari crime boss chick. Well, a background piece of plot detail, which it's not really a spoiler because nobody mentions Omega until the first time somebody does, and they mention offhand that Omega at some point got taken over by Cerberus. Cerberus is just really ballooned in how powerful they were from the first game to the second game to the third game. But they somehow like overran Omega and took over. And you have a DLC where you help Arya T'Loak win it back. And there's no time pressure for that, because even once you win it back, you don't get to do anything there. So who cares? Joker, I guess, has made its way down to the AI core to check in on his precious robo-girlfriend, who probably be a better girlfriend for him if she had a corporeal form. I mean, she does, I guess. She's the ship, but I guess he didn't go down there after all.
Commander, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's based in the AI core.
I'll head down.
You know what, young man? I need to have a word with you about your attitude.
Commander, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's based in the AI core.
I'll head down.
Maybe hurry.
I don't think that you understand what's going on. Fine, I'll go down there and check it out. I don't know why I'm putting it off as the main plot thing. Between vlogging about Allied General up front and then checking my email, this video is almost over and we've done nothing. That wasn't my intent. I don't feel like I've vlogged for that long about Allied General either. So, the AI core, we gotta get down there. We could go down to engineering in the shuttle bay and just fuck around and try to put this off, but if our guys have anything new to say... Well, you know what? We'll at least go talk to our Prothean friend before we check the AI core, because he's on this floor anyway. Matter of fact, I believe he's over here. No, he is... Well, but he's not over here, because this is where the stupid reporter chick is. No, I'm on the wrong floor for all that stuff. Here's the men's room. Yeah, I know the ship is about to be destroyed, but I gotta take a dump. There's nobody in here. This basically is just here because I was here in the last game. The last game, the ship layout was designed almost entirely around getting a separate room for each individual squad mate so you can go chat with them. So I guess we will hold off on talking to the Prothean after all.
Shepard, what's happening?
Something's in the AI core.
So I should probably go over
Edie,
there.
you'd better go quickly. I'll check on my own computers.
Running safe mode diagnostics, please.
Shepard, what's happening?
Something's in the AI core.
Okay, they're not going to let me ignore it.
Quickly. I'll check on my own computers.
The information network terminal.
You know what? I'm going to check with Garrus first. See if everybody has dialogue where they're like, what the hell are you talking to me?
The problem isn't here. Systems all look green on my board.
You sure? Maybe something was miscalibrated.
You do know who you're talking to, right?
Yeah, just had to check. Well, if you see Shepard, tell him to get over to the AI core and figure this out.
Will do.
Garrus. Didn't waste any time getting to work, I see.
Go to the AI core.
Whatever's wrong with the Normandy isn't down here. Besides, after what I've been through lately, calibrating a giant gun is a vacation. Gives me something to
You
focus
need to have better vacations.
We're gonna need you for more than your aim.
Oh, I'm ready for it. But I'm pretty sure we'll still need giant guns. And lots of them.
Oh, by the way, the AI core.
Sovereign didn't go down without a fight. I doubt 1,000 more of his friends will be any different. Still not convinced I should have left Palaven behind.
Shut the fuck up, Garrus. I mean, yeah, I got you. I'm just surprised you have time to talk to me, Garrus.
There was a boy back on Earth. Couldn't have been more than 6 or 7.
That's 30 in trillion years.
I watched him die as the Normandy escaped the attack. Somehow I'm still alive. And he's not.
Well, he's not a playable character.
Being right about the Reapers has never felt much like a victory, has it?
We both knew this fight would be tough. Damned if the Reapers haven't delivered.
At least my government listened to me. Or pretended to. They finally gave me a task force as a token to shut me up.
Oh, good. I'm glad you shut
You're
up.
their expert advisor now?
Just followed your example, Shepard. Yell loud enough and someone will eventually come over to see what all the
Unless they're yelling about the AI core.
Not that they'll actually do anything about it.
Until hell shows up at their door. Then they put you in charge.
Not like the old days, is it? Rogue Spectre and C-Sec agents running and gunning outside the lines, making it up as we went along.
Oh man, they're buddies, see?
We're actually respectable now.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I have a feeling that respect comes with a lot of sleepless nights. I can't even count how many lives are depending on us, Garrus.
Well, when things are looking grim, and I'm pretty sure they will.
Well, they
just
already
remember,
are, but...
A certain Turian friend of yours isn't sleeping any better, and he'd be more than happy to meet you at the bar and drink you under the table.
We're gonna little loud and spill some drinks at the
Something else you want to
Citadel.
talk about?
I want to ask him about the gun calibration.
You mentioned you still had family on Palaven.
My father is there. Sister, too.
How long has it been since you heard from them?
Long enough to be worried.
Don't worry. Be happy.
I'm sure they're okay.
That's the thing about getting old, Shepard. The platitudes get just as old. Pretty soon, blind hope is all we'll have left. And I hate being blind.
Bad enough to always have this stupid heads-up display in front of one of my eyes.
I know you don't have any illusions about what we're up against, Garrus. How do you rate our chances?
I know it looks bad now, but I think we can win this, Shepard. For the first time since we met, we're not alone in the fight.
We've got
It's
Rex.
something I learned long ago in C-Sec. An imminent and painful death has a way of motivating people. Instead of questioning your every word, whole civilizations are going to be begging you to save them.
After what's happened to Palaven, you still believe that?
I didn't say there wouldn't be casualties. It's something Turians are taught from birth.
We love casualties,
If just
Shepard.
one survivor is left standing at the end of a war, then the fight was worth it. But humans want to save everyone. In this war, that's not going to happen.
At this point, and I don't feel too bad about this since I upload a video, roughly almost a video a day. I don't think we're getting to the AI. I don't think we're getting to the AI core in the next bit of plot here.
So what's this Reaper task force?
Joker calls in the comp. What the hell are
After
you
what happened
doing?
to you out there in Batarian space, I knew time was running out for all of us.
Oh, I see. He remembers
The
that.
Citadel Council was a dead end, so I did something I never thought I'd do. I went to my father.
He used to work for C-Sec, didn't he? I seem to remember that the two of you didn't see eye to
I
eye.
had a heads-up display.
To put it mildly. But he still had heavy pull in the Turian government. The Primarch, well, the old one, was a friend of his. So I went to my father and laid out everything we knew about the Reapers, from Saren all
I
the
even
way to
told
the
him how you
Collector
told me
base.
to rejoin C-Sec instead of being a Maverick, but in the second game they decided they just didn't have enough room for that decision to have made a difference.
I'm not sure even I'd believe it.
I had to admit that parts of it sounded crazy, meeting Vigil, talking to Sovereign on Vermeer. But my father just listened. It's what he did in his days at C-Sec, putting together all the pieces. If the connections were there, he wouldn't deny them. And he saw what we always knew. The Reapers were coming.
What if I
I'm
land to
glad
it by
someone
space?
finally agreed.
He did more than agree. He took it to the Primarch.
I like his style.
Except the Primarch wasn't as convinced. My father kept pushing and finally got him to commit some token resources.
You mean the
And
black
if you
kid in
call
South
them a
Park?
task force, it sounds like you did something about it.
What did you do with it?
As much as I could get away with. And a little more.
Woohoo.
We hardened our lines of communications, expanded emergency stockpiles across the colonies, improved our early warning detection protocols.
You think it helped?
I'd like to think it bought our fleet some extra time. We'll know when this war is over.
Well, you'll know when the war's over, but you won't know whether what you did helped when the war's over, because you'll never know if they wouldn't have done even better had you not taken those. I'm going to ask about this again, just because...
So what's this Reaper task force you've been running?
Yeah.
After what happened to you out there,
I wanted
the
to see
Citadel
what happens
Council,
if
he
you
used to work for
say-
to put it mine, but he still. So I went to my father and laid out
He probably
everything we
laughed.
knew about the Reapers, from Saren all the way to the Collector base.
Let me guess. He laughed in your face.
I already told you he didn't, Shepard.
Amazingly, no. He just listened. My father may have been a pain in the ass about rules and regulations, but he never let politics cloud his judgment. If the connections were there, he wouldn't deny them. and he saw what we all witnessed.
I'm glad someone finally agreed.
He did more than agree.
I like his style.
Except
So yeah, we had two
and
little
if you
kind
call
of...
them the task force, it's out.
That's all for now, Garrus.
Oh,
It's damn good to have you back.
hug it out,
Wouldn't
bro.
miss this fight for anything. Now, I'm sure somebody screwed up something down here. I want to get the old girl back in fighting shape. Shepard,
Are you ever gonna do anything about that AI core?
I know you don't have any illusions about what we're up against, Garrus. How do you rate our chances?
I know it looks bad now, but I think we can win this, Shepard. For the first time since we met, we're not alone in the fight. It's something I learned long ago in CSEC. An eminent and painful
Did we already
death
hear
has
this?
a way of
Eh,
motivating.
so much dialogue in this game.
Instead of questioning your every
Yeah, we did hear
word,
this.
whole civilizations are going to be begging you to save them.
So you can vouch for this new Primarch?
That's not
Well,
what we were talking
even
about,
if
but
I
okay.
couldn't, you go to war with the army you have.
Will he live up to his word?
Wow, he's
I've never known Victus to lie. Play fast.
Garrus
and loose
is
with
quoting,
strategy,
Don
maybe,
Rumsfeld
but
there.
betray an ally. Not his style. And if he did try, well, we'll just find another Primarch.
You'd be a good Primarch, I'd vote for you.
I noticed generals saluting you, Garrus. How far down the line of succession are you these days?
Let's not go there.
Primarch Vicarian, honored war hero. Somebody's gonna have to rebuild Palaven when this is over.
Shepard, you're a
Yeah,
douchebag.
somebody who knows how to hold a hammer.
Well, I mean, certainly you know how to whack Geth with one.
That's all for now, Garrus.
Anytime.
Shepard. I can talk to you all day long, Shepard. Except that, well, it's gotta wait a bit. I gotta calibrate these weapons. So, Liara has the good sense to tell us to go actually fix the major problems with the ship, rather than just letting us shoot the breeze with her. These are quarters. Oh, that's right. We actually have to go. If I really wanted to fuck around, which I think I've decided. I've decided now that I'm just gonna like totally fuck around and put off the checking to see what's going on in the drive core. Sorry, or the AI core. Because that's a big deal. Like the ship is potentially no longer under our control. It's a bad scene. But hey, dude is not there. Chief engineer. The engine looks different from usual, I think. Cool. Yeah, it's offline. It's actually that's kind of neat. They're actually paying enough attention to make to notice that stuff's not working the way it's supposed to. This is where Jack used to hang out. There appears to be nothing happening down here now. Not sure why she hung out here. I mean, she didn't even have a bed. Perhaps she used biotics to float on a cushion of air.
You're saying they survived into this cycle?
Yes. We called them collectors. They fought for the Reapers. For a long time, no one knew they were Prothean.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you realize?
Shepard had no choice but to kill the ones he encountered. They were all indoctrinated, and had been for a long time.
I don't think he cares.
I'm sorry.
I am grateful. It was an act of mercy.
Yes. I suppose it was.
Anyways, talk to you later.
I am feeling better, Commander. I stand ready to fight. Do not be concerned about me. The years in stasis have only made me hungrier to fight.
Fine, man. You were the guy I was really looking forward to talking to. Find out some cool Prothean shit, but guess not. All that's left. Oh man, I guess I can go talk to Sergeant Musclehead and Commander Gay Dude, but she's not.
Is everything all right?
If not, please tell me. I'm a reporter. I mean, shit, you're not giving me much here, Shepard. Hey, Commander Musclehead, Sergeant Gay Dude, you guys down there? Can I converse with you from up here so I don't have to ride all the way down? I'm just gonna scream down to you. I hope you're okay. I'm sorry your husband died. Hey, wait a second. Oh, there he is. He's over here. I was about to say. We saw him from up above.
Everything okay with the shuttle?
Just double-checking the inertia dampener coils. Can be twitchy in these UT-47s. But don't worry, this bird's been rock solid.
Speaking of rock solid, Commander Shepard, if you ever change your mind about sleeping with the ladies,
I always see you down here working your ass off. Ever take any downtime?
I get my sleep, Commander. Flying tired is nearly worse than flying drunk.
What about your waking hours? Any R&R?
well, I get drunk.
I need to keep myself busy. Otherwise, well, too much time to think.
I appreciate your dedication, but I don't want to see you burn out.
I know my limits. I wouldn't take a chance with your life.
So before this war, you must have done something to romance.
Maybe I should have chosen the renegade path. We might be moving a little too close to romance here.
Sure. I remember back when the Hawking was based out
I mean,
of
it's perfectly
Arcturus,
innocent
it was just a
questions.
fighter
I'm
jet.
just not sure at what
There's
point you
this
cut off
observation deck overlooking
dialogue
the
with
main
Cortez
flight
before
paths.
Shepard
You can watch
spontaneously
every
turns
ship
out to be
taxi
gay.
in and out.
I have a bad
There's a
history with
wall
accidentally making
turn off
characters
the
gay.
auditory
I had this
emulators and
retarded
just
moment of not
watch the
realizing
jet
what
fly in
confirmed
silence.
Bachelor meant in
You know,
Fallout
the
New
reviews
Vegas.
like that on the Citadel. Next time we're there, you should take some shore leave. Clear your head.
I don't know. Maybe.
Paragon Path.
Take some time off on the Citadel, Steve. As a favor to me.
I find it very hard to say no to you, Shepard.
Uh-oh.
As it should be.
Okay, yeah. Got Paragon points. Surely there will be an opportunity to maintain a, you know, platonic friendship with this guy. But
That Primarch's got some real cojones. What we need are more politicians like him, taking names and kicking ass.
did I mention on Latin? Cojones. I gotta throw in words like that occasionally so you'll remember. Oh, fine. Let's go actually, you know, continue the freaking story of the game. But, we'll have to do that in the next video. So silly. Yeah, surprisingly, our longest conversations there, squad mates from the previous video had nothing to say to us. Well, no, I guess that's not true. Garrus became a squad mate, but, yeah, the people who actually would talk to us were, the guy who is not a squad mate in any way, shape, or form, ever, in any of the games. The shuttle pilot, I mean. And, Garrus, Mr. Can it wait a bit? I got some calibrations to do. They're the only ones who want to talk to us anymore. I mean, is it our breath? I don't know. But next time, having just completely goofed off in this video, next time we're actually going to go check out the AI core and see what the big problem is. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Mass Effect 3.